Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, January 17th, 2023. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief presented by Annapolis Subaru and the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. Here's your warning. Today's DNB is kind of depressing, and there is a bunch of bad news coming from the police department. But there is a light at the end of that tunnel. If you want to skip ahead of all the bad stuff, no hard feelings, just fast forward about 4 minutes. All right, let's get into it, shall we? I'm going to work my way up from south to north in the county, starting down in Riva. On Friday night at about 7:30 p.m., a gray, newer model Dodge Charger approached two juveniles on Riva Road, slowed down, and yelled, "We're going to kidnap you." They drove past them, turned around, and headed back toward them. The kids did find a nearby adult, and the car continued north on Riva Road toward Annapolis. Now, this happened between the firehouse and the bridge right on Riva Road. Yesterday, a 20-year-old Owings Mills man was killed in a single-vehicle crash that closed southbound Route 3 near St. Stephen's Church Road in Crofton for about 4 hours. Police have not said why they believe the vehicle left the road and hit a utility pole, nor have they identified the driver yet, as they are still attempting to notify the next of kin. Up in Chartwell in Severna Park on Friday morning, a homeowner was awakened by the sound of gunfire. When police responded, they found that the home had been struck 3 times by bullets. One went through the front door and exited through the rear of the home. Another went through the front door and lodged in a picture frame near the bedroom, and a third struck the outside of the brick home. There were no other homes on that St. Ives Drive that were targeted. And in Brooklyn Park, on Sunday evening, a woman and her dog were in the parking lot of McDonald's on Ritchie Highway when an unknown suspect wearing all dark clothing shot at the woman and the dog, hitting them both in the leg. The woman was taken to a trauma center and the dog to a vet for treatment. Both are expected to survive. And wrapping up the horrible news, also in Brooklyn Park on Sunday, just after midnight, a black male approximately 6 foot tall and 200 pounds forced his way into a home on Bon Air Avenue armed with 2 semi-automatic handguns. The suspect did assault one of the residents and demanded property. They fled in a white coupe or sedan. Now, if anybody has any info on any of these, 410-222-4700 is the number that you want to call. You can remain anonymous. Once again, 410-222-4700. Okay, on to better news. After the planning and zoning director bailed out on the county after the election, we do now have a new one. Jenny Jarkowski will begin on Thursday, and she comes from the same position in Harford County. She was also chief of staff to the Secretary of Planning in the O'Malley administration. And perhaps the most important piece of news of the day, the Annapolis Maritime Museum and Park has announced that the annual Oyster Roast and Sock Burning will be held on Saturday, March 18th from noon to 4 p.m. If you are a member, and I keep telling you should be, tickets are available now, and that's a perk. But if you're not, they're going to go on sale next Tuesday at maritime.org. My advice to you is that if you want to go, get them as soon as you can, because this always sells out, and then there's always a bunch of whiny people running around Eastport going, "Why aren't there any tickets?" All right, let's talk a little bit about Ram's Head and thank him again for these tickets. If you enjoy the Annapolis Songwriters Festival in September, I have tickets for what I'm going to call a mini Songwriters Festival on Sunday evening. It's called Tip Jars to Chart Toppers. 3 co-writers from Nashville that wrote some pretty big hits are going to come in and discuss it. So very similar to the Songwriters Festival. And for those that like rock and roll, Thunderstruck, which is an AC/DC tribute band, is going to be here on January 25th. Just get in touch with me. Let me know which one you may want to see, and you may score a pair of tickets. And be sure to check out all of the shows coming up at Ram's Head On Stage at ramsheadonstage.com. Podcast news. I hope you caught Saturday's Local Business Spotlight with Judy from Francis Marketing Group. I have some bonus ones I need to edit up, and also on Saturday, you're going to hear from Roman from the Maryland Curiosity Lab. All right, that is a wrap. But first, a quick thank you to you for listening and sharing and letting all your friends and colleagues know about us, and to our sponsors for the Daily News Brief, Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Solar Energy Services, Alpha Engineering, and Scout and Molly's over there at the Annapolis Town Center. So now you need to hang tight because we have George Young from DCMDVA Weather standing by with your only locally forecast weather report, and Scott MacMullan is back with a legal brief. All that coming up in just a bit.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Have you been looking for ways to save money recently? Maybe you should consider solar energy for your home. Or are you waiting for the technology to get cheaper? If so, how long are you going to wait? Today's solar costs less than 20% of what it cost 10 years ago. But while solar prices have declined every year, so have the financial incentives. Bottom line, if you wait for cheaper solar, you're also waiting for lower incentives. Take my home, for example. My solar system was installed in 2010, and it's been paid off for almost 5 years, and I no longer have to buy any electricity for another 15 to 20 years. If I waited for cheaper solar, I'd still be paying an electric bill. At Solar Energy Services, we have thousands of satisfied customers who are sure glad they didn't wait. So what are you waiting for? Sunshine's a wasted. Call us today for a free solar design at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMD VA weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMD VA weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMD VA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Tuesday, January 17th. Pretty good weather start to the work and school week yesterday for the Annapolis region, and conditions should stay relatively nice through the weekend, with the exception of maybe a few showers this morning and a rainy day on Thursday. Look for scattered showers today, mainly in the AM hours, with PM highs in the low to mid-50s, with a mix of sun and clouds tomorrow, with well above average temps in the 55 to 60 degree range for afternoon highs. To be followed by more 50s Thursday, but with off and on rain throughout much of the day. But skies will clear nicely Friday with more 50s for PM highs, though winds could be a bit breezy at times, with the outlook for the weekend being a fair amount of sun both days, with highs around 50 degrees each day. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DCMD VA Weather. Make it a great day out there today. Stay healthy and be safe. And don't forget to follow DCMD VA Weather on Facebook and Twitter for regular updates each day, along with our website at dcmdvaweather.info. Definitely be sure to download our DCMD VA Weather app on all of your devices from either the Apple or Google App Stores, so you can always stay weather informed.
The benefits of a good night's sleep are well documented. Sleeping well prevents weight gain, improves concentration and creativity, and boosts the immune system. So, what keeps you up at night? If you run a business, then the security of your computer network may be one of those things. Threats like ransomware and phishing are becoming increasingly sophisticated and pose a real risk to any business. Don't let these cyber threats keep you up at night. At Alpha, they've been helping their customers sleep better for over 30 years by monitoring in real time and hardening network defenses. And for those irritating IT issues that arise every day, Alpha's just a phone call away, helping your business run smoothly and helping you sleep better, knowing Alpha is on guard. Give Alpha a call to see if they can ease your worries and help you get the rest you deserve. Find them at alphagetsit.com.
You never know when you might need an attorney. It could be when the lights light up on the police car behind you. Or maybe you have $1 million idea and need to incorporate. From wills and trusts to car wrecks and arrests, Scott MacMullan with the Annapolis-based Scott MacMullan Law, LLC, is here to offer some insight for you with today's legal brief.
Hello, Annapolis. This is Scott MacMullan. This is your legal brief. The 2023 General Assembly session has started. Lawmakers are expected to consider legislation that would tighten restrictions for concealed carry gun permits, as well as expand civil liability for child sexual abuse. And one of the first laws pre-filed is a law from Delegate C.T. Wilson, chair of the House Economic Matters Committee, has filed the House Bill 1, which would alter the definition of child sexual abuse in civil actions and would allow a person to file a suit for damages against an abuser at any time going forward. At any time going forward, you can file a suit for damages. Also, House Bill 3, sponsored by our own Delegate Sandy Bartlett here in Anne Arundel County, would require the Maryland State Police Gun Center to create and maintain a statewide database to track information on firearms surrendered under protective orders. House Bill 22, which is pre-filed by Delegate Robert Long, reintroduces legislation to require a voter's signature on an absentee ballot envelope. House Bill 34 from Delegate Terry Hill in Harford County would prohibit landlords from increasing a tenant's rent solely because of a judgment entered against them in failure to pay rent case. House Bill 121, sponsored by Delegate Lorig Chargadounian of Montgomery County, would strengthen the ability of people receiving mental health treatment to be involved in treatment decisions that require a long-range discharge goal as part of the treatment, as well as an estimate for how long the person would stay at certain health care facilities before being transferred to less restrictive or intensive program. Senate Bill 21 from Senator Chris West, Baltimore County, which is being reintroduced from last year regarding the definition of a person in a position of authority who engages in a sexual act with a minor. That person would include someone who works at an after-school program, sports scouting or recreational activity, day or overnight camp in a religious institution. And finally, Senate Bill 69, pre-filed by Senator Jack Bailey, would require the Maryland Police Training and Standards Commission to create a uniform citizen positive feedback system to be used by all police agencies in the state. So these are just some pre-filed bills I want to bring to your attention. Again, this is Scott MacMullan. This is just information. This is not legal advice. It does not create the attorney-client privilege or relationship. If you do have a question for an attorney, please give us a call at 443-494-9775. Parking is available upon request. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Betsy Abraham. My mom and I own and operate Scout Molly's, this amazing little boutique at the Annapolis Town Center, and we're here to help. Whether you are shopping for the beautiful ladies on your holiday list or for yourself, we have something stunning for every occasion, from casual to black tie. From the Parade of Lights to New Year's Eve, we have the perfect outfit for every event this year. Scout Molly's, Annapolis Town Center. Thank you for shopping local.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.